Hello and welcome to Unit 11 of Interchange Book 2, and in this video we will be looking at the passive voice with by in the simple past, okay? So let's get started. Julian, Bex and Des are talking about a story in the newspaper.
Can you guys remember that cafe we used to go to in college?
Which one? Do you mean Dr. Bean's?
Yeah, that's it.
Dr. Bean's? I can't remember it.
Really? It was owned by Raphael.
Of course, now I remember it. Why did you ask us about Dr. Bean's, Bex?
It was given an award.
Who gave them an award? That place was pretty dirty.
The award was given by the Barista Society.
For the worst coffee in town?
Nope.
The worst service in town?
Nope. The dirtiest cafe in this state.
They deserved it.
Oh no, poor Raphael. The cafe was inspected by the council after the ceremony.
And?
He had to close the cafe down. The place was infested by cockroaches. And the furniture was destroyed by rats.
Ew.
How often did we drink there? So before we start studying the passive voice, it's important to know what the active voice is. Well, the active voice structure is the structure that you will be familiar with. The active voice is when the doer is at the beginning of the sentence and the receiver is at the end. So this is an example in the active voice in the simple past tense. The doer, verb, receiver. The volunteers helped the refugees. It was the volunteers who performed this action, and the refugees received this action. They received the help. But today we're looking at the passive voice. So what is the passive voice? Well, the passive voice is when the receiver is moved to the beginning of the sentence. So if we use our previous example, when the doer was the volunteers and our receivers were the refugees, we could say instead the refugees were helped by the volunteers. So here the doer is at the end of the sentence and the refugees are at the beginning. So we're going to look at the structure of the passive voice very soon. But first, let's discuss why we use it. Well, one of the reasons is that we want the receiver to be the focus, okay? So in this example, we have the child was found by the police. So we think that the child is the most important part of this story. So to give it more focus, we've moved it to the front of the sentence. The police are the doer, but the child is the receiver. But it's still at the front of the sentence. And another reason, well, the doer is sometimes obvious. So the surgery was completed by the surgeon. Surgery, most of the time, is done by a surgeon. Okay? So we don't really need to talk about the doer. We can erase this. Okay? So that is the second reason we use the passive voice. And another reason, the doer is unknown. So yeah, we might not know who performed the action. The house was robbed by... Okay, we might not know. It might be a mystery. So the house is the focus of the sentence, and this might be because we don't actually know who the doer is. So in this video, we're going to learn how to construct the passive with by, and we're going to use the passive in the simple past tense. So to demonstrate how we do this, we're going to change a sentence from the active voice into the passive voice. So our active voice sentence is a dog bit my teacher. So we can see this is the active voice because we have a dog, which is the doer. Then we have our verb and we have the receiver after the verb. So the structure of the passive, well, it will always be, no matter what the tense, the receiver, verb be, and the past participle. So what information do we have? Well, we know the receiver is my teacher, so we can say my teacher. And now we need verb be. So be is always the part that we conjugate. And because we're using the simple past, we need the simple past form of be. So it would be my teacher was. And now we need a past participle. So our verb in the active voice was bit. So we put this into the past participle position, and the past participle of bit is bitten. So my teacher was bitten. But it's possible in this construction to talk about who the doer was. Okay? So here we can actually add by and the doer. So my teacher was bitten by a dog. Okay? My teacher was bitten by a dog. So this is a sentence in the passive voice in the simple past with by. So let's try another one together. So in the active voice we have Andrew wrote the book. So let's try and put this in the passive. So the receiver of the action is the book. And then we need the verb be in the simple past tense. So the book was. And now we need our verb in the past participle. So our verb is wrote. So the book was written. Okay, the book was written. But we know who performed the action, who the doer was. So we can add the book was written by Andrew. Okay, the book was written by Andrew. So now let's do some practice. Let's see if we can identify which sentence is in the passive voice. So this first sentence, the thief stole the bicycle. Well, the thief is the doer and the bicycle is the receiver. And the thief is at the beginning of the sentence. So this one is definitely incorrect. Let's go to this next one. The thief was stolen by the bicycle. Okay, so we do have our verb be and our past participle, so the structure looks okay, but we have the thief who was the doer in the receiver's position, and we have the bicycle in the doer's position. So this one is also incorrect. And then the bicycle was stolen by the thief. Well, we have our receiver of the action, the bicycle, verb be in the past tense, past participle by, and then the doer. So this is a good example of a passive voice sentence. This one is correct. The bicycle was stolen by the thief. So another example. Millions of people saw the event. Well, we can see that we have the doer at the beginning and the receiver at the end. So again, this is incorrect because it's in the active voice. The next example. The event seen by millions of people. Okay, so we have our receiver at the beginning of the sentence, which is good, and our doers at the end of the sentence, which is good, and we have our past participle, but there's something missing here. Okay, we need the verb be, so this is also incorrect. But this time we do have the verb be, okay? The event was seen by millions of people. So this is the correct example. The event was seen by millions of people. And now our final example. Andrew wrote the message. And again, we have the doer at the beginning of the sentence, and the message, which is the receiver, at the end of the sentence, which is an active voice sentence, not a passive voice sentence. Our next example. The message was wrote by Andrew. Okay, the message was wrote by Andrew. Well, we have our receiver at the beginning, which is great. We have past of be, and we have Andrew, the doer, at the end of the sentence. So this seems good. But what about the verb? Is this the past participle of write? It's not. Okay. This is just a simple past. We need a past participle here. And the past participle is written. The message was written by Andrew. This is our correct example. So that's everything for this video. So if you would like to try the activities below, see you next time. Bye.